A proof of concept for a profound design, revolutionizing the industry and the battlefield, one burst at a time. Hi, it's me, back in my first ever Call of Duty game, and at no point in the past 33 hours of gameplay have I gotten to catch a fucking break. Taking a look at the firearm that started it all, for the most prolific platform of the modern era, I'm Six Snipes, this is the M16, and you're watching Gun Guide. If you think about all you know about the M16, the platform, the variants, the notoriety behind the piece, I'm still fairly certain I can tell you a good bit that you didn't. It's no secret the M16 was not launched as a platform to much fanfare. Many growing pains came along the way with the advent of the cult model M16A1, and eventually to the A4 we see commonly used by the US military branches today. Poor polymer cast construction failing to hold up in its first deployment into Vietnam, rigorous weapon failures on the part of a bolt system running poorly optimized cartridges, combined with the misconception that the weapon was somehow self-cleaning in the earlier days, forward assist modifications, fire selector changes, you name it, it's happened. That common knowledge in mind, what most people don't realize that even before the turbulent time when the weapon first saw its coming into its own post-successful military contract, that the M16 or else the AR-15 type platform's inception is defined by shortcomings and rigorous design reworks before it became the iconic and essential weapons platform of the free world, and before it was even accepted by the likes of the US Army. It was Colt that developed the weapon to the specifications of the United States weapons contract for a new rifle type with intermediate caliber. It was not Colt who developed the weapon. While the AR today stands for automatic rifle in many of their civilian and military application models, there was once a time where it stood for Armalite Research, the original weapons manufacturer who employed Eugene Stoner, the father of the weapon and creator of what in a very obtuse manner could be the first AR-15. And what if I told you that's not even the first model, because before the AR-15, the AR-10 was essentially the same weapon, but designed around the 7.62 NATO round, which was the United States Army's most prolific love affair at the time, before opting to look into the weapons with a smaller caliber for the sake of higher capacity and better streamlined action, resulting in its retooling as the AR-15 with a then speculative 5.56 NATO round. Ironic then that the military today should opt to make its return to the 7.62 in what in a roundabout sense can be considered a newer AR-10. Moreover, spectacular that a prototypical piece's rights such as this should be acquired by Colt once Armalite fell upon financial hardship, liquidating its assets upon a contractual obligation that now and forevermore, that weapon sold by Colt and at this point anyone else should always be known as the AR-15, and that this weapon to this day should be one of the most versatile, diverse, and effective creations of the firearms industry. And above all else, absolutely dumbfounding that all of that in mind, this gun sucks fucking cock. When I started leveling the M4, I saw that the M16 all the way in the back of the progression tree, and I was like, oh man, you gotta grind to unlock it. It's probably good. It's locked behind leveling 2 guns. It's probably good. I don't know anything about Call of Duty, and I can tell you that the OG Modern Warfare M16 fucked. There is no gun more prolific than the one Syndicate used to completely shit over Wings of Redemption in Black Ops 1v1. There is no greater hitmark machine in Call of Duty history than the OG M16. Okay, that's not strictly true, but you get the point. Look, man, this gun isn't bad annoying. It's not bad enraging. It's bad in the way where your dad says he's not mad at you, he's just disappointed. Like, who the f did this? Why is it bad? Well, for starters, the damage is not good. By not good, I mean not at all even sort of consistent. Sometimes I feel like you can burst somebody by landing 2 or 3 of the bullets on the headshot or the torso, but to the body you're doing 2 or 3 bursts easily, if not more. The quantity of rounds you can land on someone otherwise completely oblivious to your presence and still get cleaned the fuck up is truly a testament to the fact that nobody playtested this gun. Holy shit. Now, slightly subpar, moreover inconsistent damage is one thing. I think the real problem with this weapon is that paired with bad recoil makes for a bad weapon. Sure, just watching it's very easy to say that this is a skill issue, but the recoil on this thing is about as consistent as the damage. It goes everywhere and it's a mess and it's hard to aim. The first burst hits and then you're just stuck either getting leg and arm shots or missing entirely because this thing's horizontal recoil is whack. The aim down sights being slower than average doesn't help, and even worse, you don't even get attachments like grip and stocks unlocked until past level 10, so your ass is gonna fucking deal. It's marketed as an M4 tuned to more precision and range, which is interesting because for a ranged weapon it sure is funny that every single available barrel features a reduction of damage over distance. Interesting because the M4's precision and range fucking runs circles around this gun. The amount of times I said fuck it and whipped out the M4 only to hit the nastiest double where I know for a fact the M16 M16 would have gotten me killed and then had to switch back to this fucker knowing I'll never make a play like that again is ridiculous. This gun would be good for range if snipers, marksman rifles, and battle rifles weren't real. It sucks. It's a bummer. It's not good. The damage is poor, the recoil is off-putting, it doesn't put out enough burst to justify either of those things, resulting in one of the worst flat times to kill of any gun I've seen. And just when I hoped that the 40 mic tube would redeem this weapon, I learned that you can point blank a bitch with it and do jack fuck and then switch back to your gun and die because there's no reload. If you really want to make the M16 work, switch to an M4. Enough said. This gun doesn't get an outro, I'm too bummed. If you're bummed, feel free to push buttons or go watch other videos where it actually looks like I'm good at playing this game. Until then, or until next time, as I'm sad as fuck, and I'll see you out there in Modern Warfare 2.